Could we be seeing Rassie Erasmus leave the Springboks once his contract expires? I have a little bit of an update in relation to Aphelele Fassi, and yeah, I want to break down some news. So please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and let's get into it. So first up, in relation to Aphelele Fassi, before we get into Rassie Erasmus, Fassi has gone through surgery. Very good news. It's very positive. He had surgery after the ankle injury he sustained while playing up against the All Blacks in Wellington, and honestly, it was big that he ended up getting injured. But can we live without him? Yes. Is it going to be a case of we have no other replacements? We do, namely Damian Willemse, who's playing out of his absolute socks recently. So not having Aphelele Fassi isn't the end of the world. We do have other replacements, which is lovely. So I want to see him rest. I want to see him recover. Everything went perfect for his surgery. Now he's just recovering. So he is going to be recovering with the likes of Jean-Luc du Preez, Louis de Jager. So, they are going to be out for an extended amount of time. Hopefully we do get to see him kind of back end of the year. But we need Fassi fully fit, ready to go, and fully healed. So definitely very, very, definitely very good news. He did say this surgery went well. R&R now. Thank you for your wishes and kind messages. So as to how long he's going to be out, we don't know, but hopefully makes a speedy recovery. Next, moving into Rassie Erasmus. So okay, there's all this talk about Rassie potentially leaving the Springboks. Now, personally, I cannot see this happening. His contract expires in 2027, right? And basically, I think he put down one requirement for him to extend his contract. That is to extend his contract up until the next World Cup, which will be 2031, and also guarantee the jobs of all of his staff members. So, quite a few elite players. But honestly, is that should that be a problem? No. He did say this. So this is from Rapport. They demand that any new deal must not only extend his contract through to 2031 World Cup in the USA, but also secure the futures of his entire backstaff. So this is the thing, as it says here, Tony Brown is also in hot demand. There are a couple players there that are, a couple teams that are looking for, quality like them. Rassie does hold a very tight, coaching staff. And honestly, I think we need everybody that we possibly can. There has been changes since Tony Brown has come in. We've had some good, positive signs. We've seen some signs that are a little bit shaky and need a bit of work. But ultimately, look, it's just a case on will he leave? I don't think so. He's going to be getting offers. I believe he got at least 2 offers from England. Who isn't going to want Rassie Erasmus? He turned around the Springboks. He achieved back-to-back World Cup wins, and his CV is better than 90% of head coaches out there. So you would have to be stupid not to try to take advantage of the fact that after the next World Cup, he is going to be out of contract. So, at least try to, start getting conversations had in the hope that they might be able to turn Rassie Erasmus' head. Now, in a previous interview, he did also say he can't see himself coaching another squad outside of the Springboks because he wouldn't know how to deal with them. He wouldn't know, not necessarily how to deal with them, but how to get the best out of them, because he can really relate to the Springboks. It is in his blood. Coaching elsewhere, yes, he is going to be able to do a brilliant job. Don't get me wrong. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. He knows from mind games to tactical shifts to pretty much everything. The guy, he's done it all, from director of rugby, head coach, from being a Springbok himself, being a Springbok captain. He has been around the game for a very, very long time. So he has all this skills, talent, quality that is needed to succeed anywhere in the world. But what he truly has with the Springboks is he has it in his heart, he has it in his soul. He knows how to get the best out of all of these players. He knows how to relate to them, right? There is a difference when you come from South African culture and going elsewhere. It is completely different to actually understand the history of your country, to understand, for instance, what Mapimpi went through in his past, getting the best out of players like Sio Khaleesi, getting the best out of players like Ebenezer, really starting to understand the players, who they are, what they do, and what it means to them to put on that Springbok shirt and to bring the best out of them when they forget that. So honestly, I can only see Rassie coaching the Springboks. In my opinion, they need to do everything in their power to make sure that Rassie leads us on into the next World Cup and then the World Cup after that, and for as many World Cups as is needed, because the one thing he brings is consistency. Yes, he does like to be very bold and he is very risky at times, but he has the track record to back it up. He understands what is needed, and what you have to give to be a Springbok. So personally, I think all of these reports and all of these articles are just absolute rubbish. I cannot see Rassie Erasmus leaving the Springboks. I think we are, even if Rassie was to get to the quarterfinals in this World Cup, touch wood, even if he was to get to the quarterfinals and get kicked out for whatever reason, which is highly unlikely, I still see the Springboks renewing his contract for the next World Cup. And if we are to win it for a third time, I think they will be on their knees, begging Rassie in any way, shape, or form. We will give you any amount of money. We'll give you whatever you want. Just sign that contract, right? We will give you a contract up until 2060, right? Lifetime contract. Like the day that you are put into the ground, okay, we can rip that up. Even then, they'll probably be asking, look, can we speak to your ghost? Let's get some insider tips here, right? They're still going to want him to be part of the squad even after he's long gone, right? Rassie is the Springboks, and the Springboks are Rassie. They are one and the same. So I hope Rassie does not leave. He is the best thing to happen to South African rugby since 1995, right? You know what I mean. So Rassie has changed. He has changed the landscape of South African rugby, and it's only for the better. So we need to keep hold of Rassie Erasmus by all means necessary, and I think he deserves every single bit of credit that he does that he does get, and the hate as well. You are doing well when all you have are haters. That's all you have are haters. You're doing a good job, right? He needs to get a couple extra haters by Christmas, just because. So yeah. Rassie, in my opinion, he's not leaving. Chill out. There's always going to be news like this. Rassie, the Springboks are Rassie, and vice versa. It's one and the same, one entity. So, guys, please like, subscribe. I am going to be releasing the news as soon as Rassie Erasmus drops his squad announcement. That could be Monday, that could be Tuesday, that could be Wednesday. It could be whenever. Only they know. So as always, like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And guys, catch you guys in the next one. Bye.